This right here is a 2025 Cadillac Lyriq, and GM's designers broke the mold when they designed this on the inside and the outside, but it's still recognizably a Cadillac. So this right here is a Sport 3 trim. It's going to have all-wheel drive. It's the 19.2 kilowatt version, and it's going to have 515 horsepower, 450 pound-feet of torque. Watch out for the Lyriq V coming out. They say that's the fastest one, but this ain't that. So let's talk about what we got right here in front of us. The Lyriq is going to be riding on GM's Ultium platform, which is going to share with the Blazer EV, and they also was generous enough to share with Honda and Acura for the ZDX and the Prologue. And this right here is fully loaded. It's going to cost you a little bit over $80,000. So it's going to include features such as Napa leather, panoramic sunroof. We're going to have 22s, Cadillac on 22s. Shout out to David Banner. And these tires are going to be self-healing. Wolverine, shout out to him as well. Hit me up on Marvel Rivals, I'm on there too. The weight total is going to be just over 5,800 pounds, but if you get the rear-wheel drive version, it's going to cut it down to 5,600 pounds. I spent about 7 days with the Lyriq, so I'm going to give you an engineer's thoughts on the 2025 Lyriq. The Lyriq is going to have Cadillac's signature waterfall lights coming down the side. This whole front end is basically an LED. All of this lights up. We're going to have a lot of things with this. When we approach the vehicle, when it's going to unlock and the door handles are going to pop out. We're going to get inside in just a minute, but it's cool. At nighttime, there's a little Cadillac emblem that you can see right there that illuminates. I think that is slick. The headlights, they do a design. It's a sequence that comes on. I think that's pretty cool. These wheels, nice slick design to it, like little fans up in here. This is where our charger is going to be. This example, the door won't open for me, so I kind of got to force my way up in that thing. The mirrors are going to fold too when you walk away from it. The roof is black, and that's going to be an option as well for this vehicle. And coming on around to the back end, this car has a nice exterior design. Oh, look at that LED just fill around the whole ordeal in the back. Nice design in the waterfall down there. Never noticed that before. And then we're going to have our third brake light up there. And then the 600 number, that's going to be some kind of a torque rating. E4 is going to be electric four-wheel drive. To open the trunk, you can either swipe your foot down here. When it's dark enough, you can see an illuminated badge on where to swing your foot at. I wasn't in the right location. Or you can press this Cadillac badge right here, and it'll pop up for you if you press it in the right location. Up in the trunk, LEDs around. We're going to have some electronic switches so we can fold the seats down. We're going to have this nice leather privacy cover so where people can't peek in your back, because I don't want nobody knowing I got my camera equipment back here. That ain't right. And it also goes back. That reminds me of the 90s. Up under the floor here, going to have even more storage, deep storage down there. Nice soft carpet back here, and our chargers are also going to be down there. So this does have like a hatch feel to it. Well, it is a hatch, but it doesn't have a real windshield wiper. The Blazer does. Not sure why Cadillac foregone that, but maybe because the area of looking out the back window or the rearview mirror is not that good. To open the door, pull this handle that lets out. See our mirrors unfold. Nice signature LEDs. So this is going to be called Juniper Blue on the interior. So it's a nice blue with sky cool gray stitching. I'm going to get that in my Blackwing when I purchase one of those. But this is a very nice seat. Nice headrest design on here. This is wider too than the other vehicles. You can fit a grown-up in the middle seat back there. And let me just get back here and see. Do got to duck my head just a little bit to get in here. Gonna have our speaker grill with the wood grain. And this design even illuminates at light. We got some nice ambient lighting in here. Storage in the door. Metal grills for the speakers. The seats in front of us. I don't know what this design is, but it kind of looks like a hunchback. But also with that, we have a storage in front of us. We're going to have this LED screen where we can get our heated seats and control our third zone climate back here. USB-C, and we have a plug down there. Panoramic sunroof so the light can get in the back seat as well. It's always a nice touch in the vehicle. And when I sit all the way back, the headroom is like a finger width, but if I sit up a little bit, pull the seat forward, got about an inch of headroom from sitting all the way up here. I got like 2 or 3 inches of head space, so it's not that cramped back here at all. This is a fully loaded Lyriq, so this is going to be Napa leather in the back seat, so that's an upgraded option as well. So let's go on up to the front where we're gonna have more Napa leather, and the design just gets even better. Most of your material in the Lyriq is gonna be this juniper blue, which is a nice touch because I'm tired of everything being just black. These Napa leather seats, also juniper blue. Got speakers in the headrest, and the headrest can slide forward with the touch of this button on the side. Can adjust it how you please. I need both hands because my right wrist is weak. The Sky Cool gray coming down the sides. Very nice, very soft, supple leather. I enjoyed sitting in these seats, very comfortable. No switches down on the side here to adjust your seating. Where is that at? It's going to be on the door, so you can heat the bottom and the back side of the seat. You can just do the back side, and we can do ventilated seats. Your memory seating here, massaging seats. This little knob right here, which I don't really appreciate the ergonomics of where that's located, but I'll talk about that in just a moment, with the things that I don't like. But just an overview of the cabin. Very airy, spacious cabin. We notice down below here, we can pass through on the other side. We have storage down below. Underneath the armrest, it's going to be felt lined, another USB-C DC outlet. Our wireless charger is here. A couple cup holders there. Our multifunction controller, which can control the infotainment screen. Nice grading for this AKG sound system. Sounds amazing. Even got a touch of wood grain in here. This display, holy smokes, this display has amazing clarity on it. Everything in here is just high definition. And I'm just now noticing this. We have another storage compartment. Well, damn, look at that. The interior color is this royal blue. Kind of similar to the opulent blue, but that's more of a deep royal blue, and this is brighter. So one of the things that I noticed that I don't like about this, and it's going to sound like I don't like the vehicle, but I got to point out all these things. These buttons right here feel like plastic, and they are plastic, so they're on the cheapest side. When looking around here, we have things like this high quality metal coming around the cup holders here, and this high metal volume knob right here, and even this rocker right here to control the infotainment screen. These buttons feel out of place in this vehicle. While driving, it's a little awkward to rotate this thing, so I'm used to just putting my hand on the side of the seat. But to activate this, you can either press it in or kind of rotate it, which is awkward to do at this angle while you're focused on driving. And then that opens up a menu in the cluster. You can press this forward, backwards, up and down to adjust the lumbar or the roll of the massaging seats. On the steering wheel, we have the paddle shifters, or should I say paddle shifter. On this side, we have nothing. On this side, we have one paddle shifter to kind of simulate a gear change. Yeah. When I first got the vehicle, parked it in the driveway, backing up, I don't know what the camera sensed behind me, but it slammed on brakes. I swear I thought I hit my car in the yard. I was like, oh my God, I haven't even had this thing 2 minutes and I hit something. But no, maybe it was a branch or a leaf it detected on the side of me because it was pretty close to the fence, and it just slammed on the brakes. That happened twice to me. The second time was a person, but it should have done it with the person. So we have all those safety features on here. You can turn a lot of those safety features off, but I wasn't aware because I had just got it. I didn't know it was turned on. It just slammed on the brakes. Scared the crap out of me. One thing I wanted to point out, it's cold out here. It's 27 degrees right now. So the cold weather is going to obliterate your expected charge range on here. So when this vehicle was delivered, I had 308 miles to empty. So after only driving 84 miles, I had 111 miles to charge, or till I needed a charge. That's less than half of what was expected. I'm not sure if because it was parked in a warm place, because now I'm at about 50% charge, and it's reading that I got 101 miles to empty. That's more indicative about an actual representation of what charge that I do have. But the summertime, your mileage is going to come a lot more closer to what it should be. So let me talk about charging, because I don't have an EV at home, so I had to charge on a public charging station, and that is something new to me because I'm just used to pumping gas, swipe my card, 2 minutes, 4 minutes maybe at the most to fill up. EVs are different. On the third day with the Lyriq, I was going to need a charge. I did get a chance to charge at a public charging station, and it got me, in 2 hours, it got me 30 miles. That was a savior. And it only cost like $1.20 something to charge up in a public garage. But when I got home, I had 60 miles to empty. I parked it overnight, and I did an automatic start so I can be warm when I got in here. It was down to 45 miles to empty. I had to get a charge because I could not chance that. So I go to Meyer. Every charging station is filled up except for the Tesla, so I had to wait in line. So And I'm going to level 3 chargers only because those are the quick chargers. Level 2 is mainly for overnight charging. Level 3 is, okay, you got a few minutes to spare, fill up, and you can get a nice amount of charge. So I pulled off and went to another station. That one, it was out of order, so I had to go to a third station. Thankfully, there was one open and charge it. It started off slow, so by the time I got to this charger, it was at 13%. So I put on the charger, and until it got to about 30%, it was charging at 27 kilowatt hours. So once it got to about 30%, and mind you, once it gets to about 20, and it was at like 26 miles to empty, so that was a critical threshold. I think once it got around 32 miles, it got into like not limp mode, but it's going to power save. So the acceleration is going to be decreased. You can't just do those lightning takeoffs. I didn't notice the power because I wasn't doing any fast acceleration maneuvers, but it's going to go to protect itself so you can make it to a charge. So at about 30% while it was charging, it started to kick up the juice. It tripled to about 71 kilowatt hours. So that's when it started to fly. So with this charging station, it was 30 cents per minute. And after an hour, it got up to 50 cents per minute. So I put it off at like 59 minutes and such. So it cost me about $19 to charge for an hour, and then went from 13% to 60%. So I went from 26 miles to 163 miles to a charge in 1 hour. Another thing I like to point out, the turn signal. Once you flick the blinker, it's in a location to where if you're not seated perfectly, you might miss which blinker. If your blinker is still on, I messed around, and I hate when people drive with their blinker just flashing. I was that person, didn't know my blinker was still on because I wasn't seated perfectly. I think I had my lean on, driving like this, one hand on it, and I couldn't see the turn signal because it gets covered by the steering wheel. I think that needs to be somewhere in the center. So now that I have pointed out my constructive criticisms, let's talk about the things that work well on here. Number one is going to be the space. Very spacious cabin, airy, storage galore, especially for this size. So just the design, the lighting in here, I'll try and get an overnight shot of the ambient lighting. You can customize that to about 120 something colors. The vents in here, normally vents have grates. You don't see that in here. You just rotate this dial right here, and the blades to change the direction of the airflow is in the back. You can actually see it more on this one over here because it's not as recessed. Even just getting out the car, this is the door handle to get out the car. Put your hand here, pull up. I like that. And the reason you're able to have so much space in this area, normally your gear selector is here, but now it's on the stalk right here on the steering wheel column. So got our park right here, and I'll show you how to operate it. Well, it's actually just pull it towards to you, flick it up for reverse, flick it down for drive, neutral. I guess leave it in the middle. I don't have to go to neutral. To park, you press the button on the outside here. Windshield wipers, these are kind of different. You're going to want to pull these switches down, and to get your wiper fluid to come out, you want to press and hold it. It smells like Listerine. I don't know what kind of washer fluid they have, but yeah, hold your nose while it's coming out. So GM did a great job designing this very airy cabin. Soft touch everything, no hard plastics anywhere. They kept the piano black down to a minimum, just a little bit right here. This multifunction controller works amazingly. The infotainment screen is excellent, very fast, lightning quick. It's Android based. It got Spotify and Waze on here on the native system. And we can do a couple different things. We got our quick controls, the glove box release, that's in the menu, an ambient lighting app. So you can change it to be whatever. I have it pink and green like an AKA. Didn't do that on purpose, but a bunch of different colors. You can basically choose the whole color wheel. You pick a color, any color, and it's going to have variations of that color. That's cool, man. Really cool. Our steering wheel controls took me a second to get used to because I'm used to the volume rocker and the skip tracks to be the same type. This is like more of a capacitive touch down here. This is a rocker up top. You're going to have a few of our quick buttons, the music, call, voice commands. And over here, we got our heated steering wheel, which feels nice. Got it on all the time. And our autonomous driving features, in which this has Super Cruise, which I will demonstrate shortly. What I like about the infotainment, it has a lot of quick accesses at the bottom. Like if you want to access the camera, it does have a 360-degree camera. You can look at the curve to make sure you don't mess with these nice 22s we got down there. And this is something that I turned on. This is an EV. They have one pedal driving, and you can set the level of it. I kept it on normal. So basically what that's going to do, you can brake or the vehicle slows down and charges when you just lift off the accelerator without having to press the brake. You can drive this car with 1 foot for the most part. Speaking of pedal driving, let's throw on the GoPro so we can take this on the drive. Walking on up to the Lyriq. Handles pop out. Should pop out. Will pop out. Come on, thing. There we go. What the heck? It's the first time it didn't pop out for me. Showing off for the camera. Beautiful display. Got 99 miles left, 42%. The mileage must change according to how cold it is outside. That's my guess. Don't know for sure. We are ready to go. Digital rear view mirror. Didn't even realize that. Going to utilize the wireless charger down there. Works pretty good. Then we also have our shortcuts to multiple screens and go straight to the music, navigation, or whatever. All right, let's take off. Put it in drive. Looking at our drive modes. I need a shortcut button, but we're going to keep it in tour at first. Very quiet. When you're rolling slow, it'll play some noise, so people will know that you're rolling, especially when you're backing up to little subtle noise. I haven't heard it because I'm always the one driving it, but just know it does. I wouldn't lie to you. First thing we're going to do, check our turning radius. We're going to use this camera just because we can. We can get close to that snowbank because it kind of protrudes onto my turn radius track right here, but that's not going to bother us. Going to come on up, turn the wheel all the way. And that's going to leave us with a great turning radius. I didn't pull up as far as I should have, but we are still good. Great turning radius. And now on to our moon simulation, where we have all these crumbled roads paid for by the state of Michigan, or not paid for by the state of Michigan. Excellent dampening on there. Smooth. You can hear the rocks in the car, but you're not even hearing all the bumps. Extremely smooth. That is a posh ride right there. So you're going to want to be careful. This is a Cadillac on 22s, so going to have a lower profile, so you know what can happen around potholes. I popped a lot of tires. I even popped the press vehicle tires before. Got to be careful with those potholes. Acceleration, I really don't even notice it because it's effortless and very quiet. I don't hear any road noise. Do you? Minimal. Got a lot of imperfections in these roads, so you're just going to be hearing bumps if anything. One pedal driving. I just ease off the gas and go. EVs have a great driving dynamic to them because all the weight sits down low, so it's going to lead to a low center of gravity. It's going to be for added driving dynamics. It's bad that it's heavy, but it's great that the weight is down low as opposed to anywhere else. Sounds like something from the future when it slows down. Something from the Jetsons it reminds me of, or Tron. Very nice place to be. I was super impressed with this car. At first, I didn't expect to be wild at all, but man, the more I drove it, minus the battery life, which is it's only 28 degrees out here, so that's no fault of the vehicles. That's just what batteries do. So it blew my socks off. Bless my little cotton socks. I wasn't expecting for this car to be as good as it is. They've been selling a ton of these, and Honda's been selling even more Prologues, probably because people see Honda and think great. But this Cadillac is the business. And I've driven the EV Blazer as well, and I didn't like it as much as this. The interior design on this just blows that away by far. This is nice, world class. This is what Cadillac used to be back in the day. So a lot of their products, they're kind of more of the same. They don't really step outside of their designing. They don't challenge designs. They just kind of do corporate designs. This steps outside the box on that. And let me put it in sport mode because I want to see how fast it is. This is an EV with 515 horsepower. Got up to speed pretty briskly. So I thought it feels faster at a roll. That's actually my first time from a standstill. But when you get on it while it's moving, oh dang, push your head back. It sounds like a little electronic train. So it's definitely got the torque, and as you can notice that the infotainment screen changed when it goes into sport mode versus tour. More so for, it's going to look more sporty. I'm going to keep it in my mode where I do have some sport mode attributes to it. And I didn't even talk about this gauge over here. You turn your automatic lights on, and this is configurable. Turn your lights on auto. This is your trip distance. I only driven 188 miles so far. It's got multiple screens in here, trip 1, trip 2. Light is turning greens, current trip. And you can change the gauge, see all the energy. This is how you customize everything in the cluster here. That is slick. So you can make this be a map if you want to. Projection map, so I think I got Waze up. Or is that Apple Maps? I don't know. You can make it do Google Maps, which is the vehicle's internal system. That's cool that you got choices. Energy, what we got here, 95 miles left. Oops, pressing buttons. That's all touchscreen, folks. So yeah, I like that a lot. Or you can just do something clean. Speed, that's all you need to know. Getting on the highway now, about to test a few things out. This is where you should get up to speed. Does that in a breeze. Easy power to get on the highway.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
See what it's like to pass. Gets up the pass too. Some EVs do not, once they're rolling, especially at a high speed, they just do not have the grunt to go. This one has enough to get you up there. Very comfortable and very quiet, very isolated up in this Lyriq. One thing I did just notice, leaving the ATM, it is a higher belt line, so I had to open my door to go to the ATM. The windows, they don't seem to be that small, but I guess just the way it's designed, I had to open my door. I don't like doing that. But it has pretty good visibility as well. Looking over the shoulder, let me not do that right now. We got Antsy over there. I don't know what they're gonna do. All right, we're good now. That back window isn't that huge. You can see enough behind you though. It's not small to where it's like, hey, what's behind me? And then you do have this digital rearview mirror just in case you want to see even clearer. But if you got kids in the back seat, you want to see their pretty face, pick it on back to that one. So now we get to dabble with some handling. That's what I'm talking about with that turn signal. If you're not positioned a certain way, you can barely see it. So let me flick it off. And it's not that loud either, pretty quiet. We can actually take these curves at a much higher speed than what is recommended. My kombucha handles really well. Did not think he was going to handle so flat. That's impressive. Well, damn. All I hear right now is wind. Don't hear anything else, just the wind noise. So let's test out Super Cruise really quick. So to activate it, turn on cruise control, and I press this Super Cruise button. There it is. Got my speed set for me. This is an impressive system. It will do some things that people tend not to do these days. Like, it'll pass people. You don't have to do anything. Just set it and get gone. So I was riding some colleagues the other day, and it passed a slow person. And then once it got finished, it got back on over so faster traffic could pass. You people need to learn how to do that, because y'all don't do that enough. And I don't believe, it notices something coming up, so you saw it flash red. I got to pay attention. I'm not sure if it's truly meant for you to drive with your hands off the steering wheel, but that's just a safe practice. Oh, let me stop the cruise control. I got to get over. And the seat's gonna vibrate when there's something in your rear view or in your blind spot. And when what it just did was it just vibrated my left butt cheek on the seat. And I guess that may let me know it's gonna do a maneuver. Let's see what happens when I can get back into the slower lane. It vibrated my right butt cheek and got back over. We're living in the future, folks, and this is so smooth. And it's gonna put the illumination on that screen over here. It's kind of blocked by the steering wheel. Hopefully you all can see it. I can. Super Cruise is excellent. This is the best autonomous driving experience that I've had in any car. You can definitely drive this for the long haul. It's slowing down. It didn't do anything illegal like pass on the right, which I probably would have done myself. And let's see where it takes us. This is excellent. I can just sit back. Oh, okay, he just did something goofy. Didn't pass anybody. I guess they sped up. Didn't see it need to be behind these slower cars, so it got back over to the slower lane. And it's recognized. It's a 3-year subscription when you buy one of these vehicles, so it recognizes certain highways. I'm on I-75, a renowned highway. I can take this all the way down to Florida, but it has stretches where it can do this autonomous driving on its own. And then, of course, it has adaptive cruise control. I believe this is like a level 3 of autonomous driving. That's a game changer to a lot of people that just don't feel like driving. My wife would be a great recipient for one of these, but it doesn't come in the vehicle that she bought. Does the Blazer RS come with Super Cruise? Somebody drop a comment, let me know. And then while you're in Super Cruise, I can flick the signal and it'll get over for me when I want to. At some point, get on over, thing. And it's staying perfectly in between the lines too, so I don't really have to guide it back in. Other systems I kind of like guide it, like, oh, I want to be perfectly in the middle. Like, no, Super Cruise got me right smack dab in the middle. It's not hunting in the lanes, it's just keeping the line. So who is this going to be for? What type of buyer? And to be honest, there are so many EVs out there, I don't even know the perfect buyer for the Lyriq. I know if you want a more luxurious experience versus like a Model Y or the Blazer, the Honda, not even sure about the Acura, how good or not good that one is, but this will be for you if you're open to an EV. So in ideal situations, it does have very long range, and in the cold months, probably get maybe 150, 60, maybe 70 before you get into like a low power saving mode. So that's not the greatest, but 300 miles on the tank, that's what or on the charge in ideal conditions, that's what I would normally get on my gasoline powered vehicles. So that's pretty good. So this is a great application, and I'm shocked by GM because I normally don't see them being brave and bold in their designs like this. This is bold, minus the feeling of these buttons right there, but everything else is premium, high quality. Speaking of GM, we're coming down, we're near their headquarters, actually the tall building in the background, Skyline. I think they actually moved out, they're renovating it for something, I'm not even sure if they're moving back, but that's all I gotta say about the Lyriq. Impressive. So, got a question, drop a comment. You all drive safe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.